chosen one, take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear is not entertainment. It's a wake-up call, written in the language of the universe. For too long, you've questioned why you draw attention in silence, why birds pause in flight near you, why animals seem to behave unusually when you're near. You've wondered why even the quietest corners of nature seem to become alert in your presence. You may not have had the words for it, but now you do. You carry a divine frequency. And if you bear the letter M on your palm, plus the perfect crescent moon cupped in your hand's curvature, then you are not just spiritually aware, you are spiritually coded. You carry signs that were not placed at random. These markings are cosmic imprints, seals of identity from a realm far higher than this one. And it's not just people who sense this. Animals do too. Let that sink in for a moment. When a creature with no human language reacts to your energy, it's not instinct, it's recognition. The most ancient times, spiritual masters have taught that animals can perceive frequencies hidden from human understanding. But here's the mystery the world ignores. Certain animals don't just react randomly. They are drawn to the ones who are marked, those who are here for a sacred reason, and you're one of them. The hidden code behind your presence. Have you ever stood in silence only to notice a butterfly hovering beside you longer than expected? Or a dog that sits at your feet uninvited, like a bodyguard of the unseen? These aren't coincidences. These are confirmations. Confirmation that you are on a path set apart. Confirmation that your vibration, yes, yours, is spiritually encrypted. Let me tell you this directly. When animals respond to you, it's because your soul is already speaking. The ancient mystics spoke of a prophecy that in times of global confusion, the truly chosen would begin to awaken, and nature itself would testify to their identity. Watch animals, for they will recognize the ones who carry the code. You carry the code. You walk with a presence that whispers of realms untouched by logic. You may feel misunderstood by people, but animals feel your essence. They respond to what lies underneath your surface, a divine mission carried through your being. In this video, you're going to uncover 7 spiritual animals that respond instantly to those marked with the M and the crescent moon. But more than that, you'll understand why you've had those strange encounters, why your solitude is never truly silent, and why the earth, through her creatures, has been trying to get your attention all along. But before we begin, let this be more than just a video. Let it be a spiritual mirror. If this message is already resonating with your inner truth, if your spirit feels like it's remembering something ancient and sacred, then type the number 111 in the comments. That number isn't random. It's the number of spiritual, the first gate of awakening. It means the divine is guiding your steps. Say it out loud if you must. I am awakening, and the signs are real. Let this declaration echo not just in the algorithm, but in the realm that watches you when no one else is around. A sacred frequency. The reason you're watched in silence. You've probably heard people say, animals just like me. But that doesn't quite explain the depth of what happens to someone like you, does it? It's not just that they like you, it's that they respond to your field. Your light isn't just emotional, it's energetic, it's spiritual. And here's the truth no one else is telling you. You were never ordinary. You were chosen before you knew the word for it. And the moment your body carried the mark, your soul began emitting a beacon. You may have experienced seasons where you questioned everything, your worth, your place, your identity. But during those same moments, wasn't it the simplest creature, a bird, a sea, that reminded you, you are not alone? These creatures do not have social filters. They do not care for your success, your failure, or your image. But they see what's underneath. They see your code, and they approach because heaven told them who you are. Now, I want you to really think about this. Have you ever been followed by a bird for no reason? Have you had a random animal sit beside you with no fear? Have you seen an animal look at you not with curiosity, but with a kind of reverence? These are not random events. These are spiritual encounters. The cosmos speaks in silence, and often through the creatures that walk beside us. And now, you're going to learn exactly which animals carry messages for you, and why they seek you out. But first, I want to ask something from soul to soul. This channel exists for one purpose: to guide the marked, the misunderstood, and the spiritually gifted into full remembrance. If you feel that you've been led here by some video is giving voice to thoughts you've never dared to say out loud, then this is your space. Take a moment, pause everything else, and subscribe to this channel. Because what we're building here is more than content. It's a community of awakened souls. This may be the only place where your signs will be understood, not dismissed. The silent witnesses, 3 spiritual animals that react to your divine code. Pause for a second and look around. Even when you think no one is paying attention, nature is. The earth watches through her creatures, and some of them were created to mirror your energy back to you. If you are marked with the M or the crescent moon, you are not like everyone else, and certain animals can tell. They don't analyze your words. They don't care about your background. They respond to your spiritual resonance, the invisible imprint you carry, like a beacon of divine intention. Let's go deeper now. You've heard stories before, but you've never heard your truth reflect this. These are the first 3 creatures that react to those chosen ones who were set apart before birth. And as we dive in, I need to ask you something important. If this message is reaching into something inside you that's hard to explain, if it feels like you've been seen, then don't just consume this content. Be a part of it. Subscribe to this channel. Comment with your sign, your number. Tell me, which animal has shown up for you in unexpected ways? Let's build a space where no chosen one walks alone. Now, open your heart, because the first animal on this sacred list is one you already know, but never truly understood. 1. The watchdog of the soul. The dog. Not every dog is the same, but those that gravitate toward the chosen ones are not just pets. They are soul sentinels. You've seen it before. A dog you've never met walks up to you, lowers its body, and just stares. Or maybe one lies by your feet without being told, refusing to leave. That's not coincide. Recognition. Dogs have been revered across cultures, not just for loyalty, but for their ability to sense the unseen. Ancient spiritual leaders believed dogs could detect spirits, energies, and divine presences, and that they often protected sacred humans without being trained to. If you're a chosen one, marked with divine codes in your hands, the energy you carry calms certain dogs and awakens others. They shield your aura. They bark at energies that do not align. They grow agitated when your vibration drops and stay near when you ascend. That's because spiritually, dogs are not just companions, they're mirrors. They react not to who you pretend to be, but to who you actually are in the unseen world. So if a dog has protected you, watched over you, or sat with you through moments no one else even noticed, hear this: you are more known in the spirit than you are in the flesh. 2. The messenger between worlds. The dove. No bird descends like the dove does, soft, silent. Intentional. Doves are not drawn to chaos. They land only in atmospheres of peace, reverence, and divine presence. That's why when a dove lands near you, it isn't random, it's a confirmation. In sacred texts, the dove has always represented the Spirit. It descends upon those walking with divine identity, and many chosen ones report seeing doves in moments of surrender during prayer, tears, revelation, or even quiet surrender. If this has happened to you, if a dove appeared exactly when you were reaching upward or inward, understand this. The universe was not ignoring you. Heaven was answering. This is not poetic. It is spiritual truth. Chosen ones marked by the crescent moon, or the M, emit a frequency of humility and transformation, and the dove is drawn to that. It lands near you because it sees what the world has missed, that you carry something pure, divine, and rare. Let this settle in your heart. And if you've seen doves during your transitions or moments of deep, us below, don't keep this to yourself. Your story could be the mirror that awakens someone else. 3. The silent night, the horse. Unlike dogs and doves, horses are not domesticated in spirit. Even when tamed, they remain wild in their essence. That's why their reactions to the chosen ones are profound. The horse responds to energy, not commands. Spiritual history is full of moments where great leaders, prophets, and visionaries were accompanied by horses who moved with them without being led. This is not mythology, it's memory. If you've ever stood near a horse and watched it lower its head in silence, or stare at you with a kind of ancient awareness, know this: that moment wasn't a coincidence. It was a meeting of frequency and recognition. The horse senses something noble in you. And I don't mean human pride. I mean spiritual nobility, a divine authority given before you were born. Your mark is not only on your hand, it's in your vibration, and a horse, more than Ma, knows how to recognize silent leadership. The kind that doesn't shout, the kind that simply is. A personal request from me to you. If you've made it this far, it's not by accident. You're not just watching a video. You're walking through a mirror of memory. Something in you already knew this. I'm just helping you remember. So I ask you now, as one marked soul to another, have you seen animals behave strangely around you? Have you felt their presence during your darkest or most sacred moments? Has one creature, one silent eye, made you feel known? Then comment below. Tell us which one. You don't need to write a story. Just say, "The dog stayed beside me," or "A dove landed near me once." Your comment could unlock someone else's awakening. Let's light up this space with proof. Let's show the algorithm that the chosen ones are no longer silent. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Not because it's trendy, but because this may be the only space you'll find on this platform. Your language, the language of the divine, the language of those who carry the sacred seal. You've come this far because something in your spirit already recognizes the truth in these words. This isn't just about animals. It's about how creation itself responds to those who were never meant to blend in. Every living being carries a frequency, but you carry a code. It's ancient, sacred, often invisible to the world, but unmistakable to those who see beyond the surface. The next animals on this list are not mere creatures of instinct. They are messengers of the spiritual realm, entrusted with the task of responding to those who carry the seal, the letter M, or the crescent moon. If these signs appear on your palms, you are already known by the universe. Let's finish this unveiling, and as we do, reflect deeply on your encounters, because you may realize that you've been seen for far longer than you thought. 4. The lion, the spirit of royalty. When people think of lions, they dominance, kingship, untamed might. but what they don't often consider is the lion's spiritual sensitivity. The lion doesn't bow easily. It doesn't fear. But when it stands before someone who carries divine authority, it does something remarkable. It pauses. That's not instinct. That's recognition. In biblical symbolism, the lion represents the tribe of Judah, the lineage of divine kingship and messianic promise. And those who carry the mark of the crescent or the M walk with a shadow of this spiritual bloodline. Their frequency resonates with courage, leadership, and truth without domination. In ancient desert scrolls, there are accounts of lions that encircled prophets, not to attack, but to guard. Modern-day experiences echo these mysteries. Wild lions approaching without aggression, holding eye contact, walking beside travelers, then disappearing. If this has ever happened to you, even in dreams, understand. Standards, but by eternal law. 5. The owl keeper of hidden vision. Owls fly when the world sleeps. They speak when all else is silent, and they see what others are too afraid to look at. The owl doesn't appear randomly. It appears when you're being initiated into deeper seeing, into wisdom that's not written in books, but carved into the soul. If you've heard the call of an owl during a season of spiritual testing or silence, you are not alone. If you've dreamed of owls, or seen one cross your path during grief, breakthrough, or meditation, listen carefully. The owl is not curious, it's aware. And when it looks at you, it's not looking at your clothes, your status, or your expression. It's staring at your spiritual awakening. Chosen ones, especially those marked visibly or invisibly, are called to carry sight in darkness. The owl shows up to test. Will you trust what can't be seen? Will you follow intuition over noise? This creature is more than a symbol. It's a sentry, a threshold of transformation. 6. The cat, the intuitive sensor of the realms. Unlike dogs, cats don't obey commands. They respond to alignment. You cannot force a cat to stay, but if it stays by your side, especially in moments of spiritual movement, know this: you are being affirmed. In ancient Egypt, cats were worshipped, not for cuteness, but for their ability to sense the unseen. They were believed to guard portals and to be drawn only to those whose souls had crossed into higher awareness. Today, many chosen ones report that cats follow them unexpectedly, curl up on their chest during meditation, or fix their gaze on corners others ignore. They aren't reacting to your actions. They're responding to your light. And when that light flickers during exhaustion, grief, or spiritual battle, the cat stays close. It isn't just affection, it's protection. If a cat has come into your life during your darkest hour, or if one appears and seems to bond instantly, it's not because good person, it's because you're a marked soul. 7. The butterfly herald of your becoming. Delicate, quiet, and fleeting, yet spiritually, the butterfly is one of the most powerful messengers on earth. Why? Because its journey mirrors yours. The caterpillar crawls in the dust of this world. Then, without applause, it disappears into darkness. In silence, it breaks, transforms, and when it emerges, it no longer walks, it flies. Chosen ones marked with the crescent moon and M often encounter butterflies during turning points, right after prayer, grief, or decision. They arrive to affirm the unseen process of transformation already at work within you. Some appear during spiritual breakthroughs, others during baptisms or moments of surrender. Some land on your shoulder, flutter around you, or show up repeatedly as if whispering, "You are becoming." Butterflies carry the memory of your soul's rebirth. When they appear, it's not a decoration, it's a declaration. You are no longer. Final reflections: creation has been watching you all along. So now you know, it wasn't your imagination. The dog that followed you wasn't just curious. The cat that stayed wasn't just affectionate. The dove, the owl, the lion, the butterfly, the horse, they were never just animals. They were messages. From the universe, from the divine, from the spiritual realms that have marked your journey from before birth. They've been watching, reacting, confirming. Because even if the people around you couldn't see who you really are, creation always could. And now, so can you. If this video has stirred something inside you so far, if you've felt known, seen, validated, then I want to ask you something simple but real. Subscribe not just to support the content, but to claim your seat in a space created just for souls like you. And I'd love to hear from you. What animal shows up for you? Write your story in the comments. Write, I was followed by a butterfly when I flew overhead the night I broke down. Your story matters. This is not a drama channel. This is a spiritual refuge. Let's make the comments section a sacred space where the chosen share and awaken one another. And if you've read or watched all the way through, comment this below. I am seen by creation. Let this be your agreement. Let the spirit realm witness it. Everything you've lived in silence is now being confirmed by creation itself. It doesn't matter how many times you've been misunderstood, how often you've been told you're too sensitive, too intense, or simply different. It doesn't matter if the world around you never acknowledged your depth, because nature did. Because the universe already knows who you are. These 7 animals aren't simply companions of the physical world. They are spiritual confirmations, walking between the veils of reality, whispering, you are seen. They have never needed you to explain yourself. They never waited for your proof. They responded to something more ancient, your signature energy. These animals reflect who you already are. Each of the 7 sacred animals we've explored reveals not just themselves, but a part of you. The dog reflects your guardianship, your loyalty to light, and your role as a protector of others' energy. The dove mirrors your peace-bearing spirit and capacity to carry stillness in chaos. The horse recognizes your quiet strength and inner command. The lion honors your royal lineage, your spiritual authority that doesn't need to prove itself. The owl uncovers your ability to see beyond illusions, to navigate shadow without fear. The cat responds to your sensitivity to energetic realms, sensing dimensions few understand. And the butterfly confirms your rebirth, your capacity to become something wholly new. Together, they create a map, a mirror of your divine path. And if the number 7 keeps appearing in your life on clocks, receipts, dreams, it is not our divine cycle. The number of spiritual fulfillment of God's perfect design, 7 signs, 7 stages, 1 awakening. The chosen are felt, not explained. You don't need to convince others of who you are, because your energy already speaks before you say a word. Animals don't respond to the mask. They respond to the soul. They don't care about your social standing, your appearance, or your titles. They care about what you carry, the invisible mantle over your life. And here's a secret you may have already felt deep inside. When animals respond to you, it's not instinct, it's alignment. They are reading your light. They are answering a call that was written before time began. So when a dove appeared at the height of your sorrow, when a dog followed you in your solitude, when a cat stayed by your side, when everyone else walked away, that was heaven whispering, we never left you. You are not random, and neither are these signs. The animals were sent to wake, to entertain you, or to fill empty moments. They came to remind you, there is a mission on your life that cannot be erased. You were chosen before you knew the word chosen. And even when people walked away, nature stayed, because the universe cannot unsee what it has already confirmed. And now that your eyes are open, what will you do with this knowing? A personal message from this channel to your spirit. This space was never created for the crowd. It was created for the called, for those with trembling hands and sacred marks, for those who carry burdens the world cannot see. So if this video reached into a part of you that has been hidden, if it felt like someone finally understands what you've never said out loud, then I ask you, don't walk away quietly. This is your space. This is your home frequency. Subscribe not just to follow a channel, but to step deeper into your remembrance. Comment below and write, I am seen by creation. Share your experience. Appeared in your life? And what moment did it show up? You don't have to write a long story. Just one sentence could awaken someone else. Let's fill this comment section with living proof that the chosen are rising. You are the sign the world is waiting for. Let the world keep sleeping. Let others keep doubting. But you are waking up. You're remembering why the butterfly landed during your prayer. Why the owl cried at night just before your breakthrough. Why the lion didn't attack but stared as if saluting. Why the horse walked toward you. The cat stayed. The dove hovered. Because you're not invisible. You're encoded. Encoded with light. Encoded with mission. Encoded with a signature that heaven recognizes instantly. So from this day forward, walk like you're seen. Speak like you carry something holy. And when you see animals respond again, smile. Because now you know why. You were never alone. You were never wrong. You were never mistaken. Why?